Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another edition of Uzie's Reviewzies. I'm very excited today because I've not seen this girl in years. This is Pamela Tate, as I knew you, now Dash Roger, right?
Yes.
She has written a book. I love this book because I'm a huge fan of baseball. I grew up, Giants. And I just love this story, so I'm going to turn it over to her. This is Layla, her daughter. This book is called A Girl's Journey. There's no crying in baseball. Super easy read. It's for adults and children. And when I saw you post on Facebook, I was like, I had to buy that. I went to Amazon immediately and bought it.
Thank you.
So, tell me everything. What inspired you? What happened? There's a whole story behind this.
There is a whole story. Leah was playing softball at her middle school, Hoover Middle School, and she played 6th grade year and didn't particularly like it because she grew up playing baseball. But there's this weird transition where when you start middle school, they tend to push girls towards softball. And so she did the softball for 6th grade year, didn't particularly care for it, and went back for 7th grade year and said, yeah, I'm going to play again, and went to turn in her form to athletics, and the little boy said, oh, girls don't play baseball. And she's like, I play baseball. And he's like, oh, you don't know how to play baseball. And she says, I've been playing baseball since I was 6. And he's like, yeah, right. So she just kind of wandered into the boys' meeting and sat down with them and decided she wanted to try out for the baseball team.
Wow.
Her brother was in the 8th grade, so they both were trying out for the same team. And, we went home and had a talk about it. And I was like, hey, Peyton, what do you think about if Leah decides she wants to play baseball?
Yeah.
And they've always played together one year and then not together the next year, just because of their ages are 18 months apart. So one year they'd have to play together because they'd meet the age requirements, and the next year they'd play separately. Well, this was his first time playing for school too, and I said, it's your 8th grade year. If you think you don't want her to play, she can just back off of it.
Wow, you gave him the choice.
An option. Yeah, we didn't want to ruin his year.
Sure.
And, again, she would have another year if she wanted to do it. And he said she's better than half the guys that are trying out anyway, so she should go on and try out for the team. So she did.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you not like about softball? What's different for you between softball and baseball?
The pitches are really weird, and they're just like lobbing the ball up, and you can't really steal the base. I didn't like that.
Oh, is that true in softball?
Yeah.
We played softball in high school.
Yeah, it was definitely different than when I watched with her playing baseball. It's definitely a faster game.
How did your brother react? Was he cool with that, or what? How did that go over?
I think at first he was cool with it, but then once we were on the team, he started getting annoyed because, I don't know why he got annoyed.
Because you were getting all the attention, maybe?
No.
No?
It was a lot of defending.
Big brother comes to rescue. Yeah, that happens.
Like, I just want to focus on the game. He wanted to play. And of course, if he heard anybody say something about his sister, he's like, hey, that's my sister.
Right.
And he wasn't going to just sit there and kind of let them get away with that. So.
What was the process? You guys, your book, again, A Girl's Journey, There's No Crying in Baseball. You guys had to go to quite a process through the district.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Well, initially, the athletic director from school called me and said, hey, your daughter turned in her form, which we had checked off, you sign off for the whole year. So we had softball, we had basketball, we had track, and we had soccer signed off. And I hadn't signed off.
For her to do all those sports?
Yeah. And
oh my
plays all
gosh.
those sports. Yeah, so.
You're like an athlete.
Yeah, but she hadn't checked off baseball. And so he called and said, your daughter showed up today at the boys' baseball meeting and she wants to play baseball. And I was like, oh. And then he's like,
you're like, yeah?
So is that okay? And I'm like, it's fine with us. I mean, she's played baseball before. It's not like it's something new. And he said, oh, well, you need to sign off the form. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can sign off the form. She'll bring it home. I'll sign it. And then he called her dad. Like, mom couldn't say.
That's like Mad Men style. Like, let's call your husband, little lady.
Right. Didn't really appreciate that. Didn't really fly well either. And my husband was like,
considering women these days are the ones that pay the bills, they make the money. They're all, come on.
Exactly. We're equals in the household, and he was like, she's played baseball before, and again, it's not a problem. So then he's like, oh, okay. So then the next day I'm at work. And I get this telephone call from the principal's office, Principal Sinkler, love her. And she's like, I hear Leah wants to play baseball. That's exciting. It's awesome. I'm glad to hear she wants to play. And I'm like, cool. And then a couple of days later, we get a call from the school district confirming that I actually signed the form and gave consent.
Like
for
she
her
forged
to
it?
try out for baseball.
Like she forged it.
Yeah, I guess it was pretty rare. I believe there's about 6 girls in the San Francisco School District that actually are playing on, at that time, middle school boys team. They no longer call it the boys team after the year that she played it. Now it's just middle school baseball.
Oh.
But on the form that we signed, it's
You
middle
changed
school
history.
boys baseball. And also the championship form said championship boys team. And it's like, well, we have a girl. And so she's one of the first girl players.
Ella wanted to get in the picture.
Ella's enjoying herself. One of the
Only way
first
we can
girls.
shut her up.
But she's quiet. She's enjoying herself. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. And we were kind of like, well, you know, when someone calls from the legal counsel of the school district, you kind of go, do we need to get an attorney? But you know, Title IX takes care of that, and they just were confirming that we were okay with her playing.
Wow. I love the illustrations, illustrated by Shannon Paradero.
Yes.
I love them because they're simple and inviting, and it just reminded me so much of, I don't know, us being in class and us being at school, sort of old-timey, and I just loved it so much.
Yeah.
So Shannon did a great job with
Did
this.
an awesome job. And again, this is my first children's book, so
Are you going to do more?
I think I am.
You
I think I
should.
am. It was an interesting experience. You write the story, and then, and this is an even odder story. I've never met Shannon in person. She's actually in the Philippines.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
How'd you find her?
I'm online. Crazy. Yeah. And basically you write your story, and then you write what you envision what your pictures are going to look like. You write a story for the pictures. So I'd have to say, you know, they're wearing this uniform and details, and there were a couple of cultural things, like she was drawing pictures of baseball players with no socks immediately. And I was like, that's a no-no. You always wear socks.
Because in the
baseball.
Philippines they don't?
I guess heat, I don't know. And then she's like, I did not know that. I said, well, for women, particularly when we used to play baseball, we wore bloomers. So the pants went all the way down to the ankles, and there was no skin showing. So I was like, and baseball players always wear socks. You never see a baseball player not wearing socks. And she was like, oh, okay. Little cultural thing, but yeah, you have to write.
Did she do like a whole storyboard thing for you?
She did. So I'd write what it was supposed to look like. She'd draw it. She'd send me a picture, a PDF, and then I, you know, review and kind of go, this is not that detailed. And even when we did colors, she was very colorful, and I was kind of like, yeah, we're not quite that colorful. Like I had sheets drawn, and she had like green pillowcases, a red sheet, and a floral bedspread. Right, and you know,
You're like, nah, girl, it's not like that.